Hi flosstube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy, and if you've clicked play, this is a YouTube video about cross stitch mostly. I will share a little bit of quilting. This video is mostly going to be my January, what I worked on in January, and then my February goals, or plans-ish. They're loose goals. And yeah, so thank you for hitting play and showing some interest. This is like the third video in a week I've filmed, or in 3 weeks, one a week for the last 3 weeks. I'm probably not going to keep up with that schedule. I'm hoping to today is February 3rd, 2nd. It's February 2nd. It's Sunday. And so I'm hoping to once a month film like a monthly wrap up and then what my goals are for the next month. I might pop in here like mid-month to kind of show some updates. It depends on kind of how long this video is and how much stitching I've been doing. But yeah, let's start with the January recap. If you have watched the other 2 videos that I've put up recently, some of these you will have seen. So sorry for the duplication, but I'm trying to make it kind of an all-encompassing video of what I did in January. There's going to be a few things missing because I didn't bring down the fully finished item that I did show in the last video. So that's that. Hopefully going forward though, it'll be more, if I do any fully finishing, it'll be actually in that video or in the recap video. So anyways, let me get started. So in January, I stitched every day. Some days more than others, obviously. I do work full-time, and so on the days that I work, some days are 12-hour shifts, and sometimes I'm able to stitch at work if it's like a slower day seeing patients, or I'm, up on my charting. And then usually those days I come home and I'm pretty tired, and so I don't always stitch at the end of the day, but most days I do stitch in the evenings, hanging out with my family while they're watching TV. I have 2 boys that are in wrestling practice, and so at wrestling practice I will sit and stitch. Yeah, but all that to say, stitched every day in January. I finished 6 things. I started 10. I kind of went through a start, and that's probably going to be trying to start things because I'm finding that I don't love starting things, but once they're started, I'm more likely to pick them up. And so I have a ton of things kitted up that I would like to actually work through. That being said, 2 sets, one set of hands, and I only have a certain amount of time to get stuff done. So probably halfway through the year, I'm going to be like, holy crap, my whip list is way too long and I need to tone this down a little bit. So we will see. It's 2025. It's a big year, I guess. Quarter of a century. I don't know. Anyways, it just seems like a good year to start a bunch of stuff. I started a bunch of stuff in 2020. That was my first year I did Stitch Mania. And I think I started a new project every day in May, some days too. And so finally this year, I think I've finished. Last year, I finished everything that I started that year. So, I'll start all these things in 2025, and by 2030, they should be finished. We'll see. Hopefully my hands don't get arthritic before then, but okay, so let's jump in. My first finish was this one, which you have seen before if you've watched previous videos. It's called Snowballs for Sale. And actually, the stitching is finished. I need to attach the buttons. She's got, the snowman is supposed to have like buttons down the middle. I just didn't do that. Sorry, it's wrinkly. I did not iron. 25 count, probably Farmhouse Lugana. This is a Lori Holt pattern called Snowballs for Sale. This was a whip I've had for probably 4 or 5 years, and finally I pulled it out and focused on it and finished it. So I finished that January 5th. And then I started this guy the 7th and finished him on the 8th. This is called Winter Wonderland. It is the Primrose Cottage Free Stitch Friday. for January. I got the chart, or I got the finishing kit from them. And so it's stitched on I think it's a 32 count Lugana, with the called for DMC, and it's 2 or 3 cottage garden threads, which I'd never stitched with before, but yeah, so that's that. I should have turned it sideways and I could have saved some of that fabric, but whatever. So finished that the 8th. And then, let's see, I'll jump around here a little bit. This was a big finish. I finished this January 17th. I think this is the right direction. 324 by Works by ABC. It's on probably a 28 count linen, just a white. I did the one that was all 324 different colors, so that's great. Happy to have that finished. I need to get it framed. Yeah. And then this In the Meadow, I started January 9th, so after I finished Winter Wonderland, and then I finished it the 18th, so that was pretty quick. It was kind of, I focused on this one and In the Meadow, or 324. This one is a Little House, either Country Cottage or Little House Needleworks, I can't remember which one. I stitched with mostly the called for Fancy Floss. This is a Bestitch Me Lugana. Looks like a 28, 32 count. I'm sorry, I don't know the color. And then, so the 18th was a Saturday. I finished that In the Meadow and decided to start this one because I'm in this club by Fat Quarter Shop. Stitching with the Housewives, Blooming Roots. This was the January. Stitching it on a 28 count. Even weave with, since I'm in the club, I get the called for Fancy Floss, Classic Colorworks. And so I started this 18th and finished it Thursday the 23rd. So that was pretty quick. And I'm hoping to start and finish each of those in the month. So you'll see that my plans for February. I plan to start that in February. So let's see, finished that the 23rd, and then I started, well, I'll go over my last fully finished guy. I don't know why I started this one on the 25th, and then I finished it on the 29th. So that was actually pretty quick. It didn't feel like that fast. This is called Magical Snowflakes. It is by, oh, what is their name? Puddles, Counting Puddles. I stitched on a 14 count navy Aida with the called for DMC. That is a ton of backstitch, but it looks good looking at it on the camera, and it's not terrible in person. I don't think I'll ever, I can't say never, but that was a lot of backstitch. I need to take a break from that for now, because holy moly. So that was all my finishes. Next I'll just kind of go through my whips, and you'll see the starts kind of mixed in there. So that was kind of, those were the first half of the month, and then the second half of the month I was like, holy cow, I made a lot of goals for January, and I haven't accomplished them yet of things I wanted to start. And so last weekend I had a big like start-a-palooza. But first, let's see, I worked on, so the first part of the month we were on vacation, and I brought Snowballs for Sale, and then I brought this piece, which, sorry I didn't make a copy of the cover photo, piece by Long Dog Samplers, because it's relatively easy to stitch on. This is Fish and Ships This is a, oh, what is it stitched on? I think this is a Be Stitch Me 36 count linen. It starts with an A, I think. It's some C type name. But I only stitched on that one day while we were on vacation. That was, sorry, Monday the 6th. I'm stitching it with one strand of B5200, so pretty simple. And then what's next? So I was watching what's her name? To Martini Stitcher, and she is actually the one who kind of inspired me to start this project. And she is doing a motif a week for its And a Forest Grew, and so I thought I would jump on that bandwagon. And now Sundays, so today I will put in a motif, but Sundays are my day to do a motif. And usually, so I've worked on it the past 2 Sundays, but what happens is I will pull a color to like work it in that motif, and then I'll try to bring it to other pages to finish out the thread, because this thing has a ton of color changes. So you can see I have like little random things there. That's because I was trying to finish out a thread. But this is the make it smaller. So I've had this as a whip for probably 4 or 5 years. I want to say I started it in 2021. Stitching it with a called for DMC on 36 count Tyco by Picture This Plus. So those are page finishes. This is almost, the next page I'm working on, almost a finish. And so I think I have like one more motif up there, or maybe right there. I don't know. That's what I'll probably work on today. And then I'll move on to this page, and then hopefully, kind of at the end of last year when I was thinking about my goals for this year, I wanted to have this as a finish this year because it's been a lingering whip. I don't know if that'll happen or not. We'll see if we'll see how it goes. So that's, yeah, a motif a week on Sundays. And then Sunday the 19th was, so the 19th of December is my birthday, and this was my birthday start last year, and so I decided on the 19th of every month I will try to work on this for at least a strand or 2. So Mirabilia Stargazer. I saw somebody on Instagram, I think Ice Stitcher, which I haven't seen her post lately, so I don't know. She stitched it on hers on a beautiful purpley linen. So I decided to do that as well. So this is the bottom of her dress. This is all one color. I'm trying to kind of, I don't want to say color complete because that's a little bit tricky, but I'm trying to get as much as I can done with one color. This, oh, what is the name of this linen? It came from Fiberlicious. I think Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers a couple years ago. Let's see if I have the pressed petals. It's a 32 count. Fiberlicious. I'm pretty sure they still dye fabric, so. And then it calls, you know, got a lot of DMC, and I have the beads treasures. So that will be a long-term project, but hopefully it'll make slow but steady progress, bringing it out on the 19th of every month. Yeah. And then this is one that I would like to finish sooner rather than later. I'd like to finish it in the month of February, but I don't know if that'll happen. It's called Queen Rose by Al Forrest. I got the kit from them, so it's using their floss, which, sorry, it's a whole big old mess. But they provide these like bobbins with the symbol on it. I'm sitting kind of far away from the camera, but I don't bobbinate. I don't like that. I like it to pull this floss this way, but I don't have a good way to poke a hole on these bobbins. They're pretty thick. So haven't haven't quite found a workaround for that yet, but that's all the pretty floss. And then here's the piece. So when I pulled it out, I actually made decent progress. I don't know that this is like a 28 count linen, I think, but it was supplied by them in the kit. So yeah, I mean, if I don't know, I'd probably have to put a good week's worth of progress into this, or a week's worth of work to finish it. And as you'll see, I'm gonna run out of weeks here in February, so we shall see if that's a finish. I hope to finish it this year. I hope to finish it by March. We'll say that. How about that? Okay. Next, I'm going to get that big board out of the way because the rest of these are smaller. I'm in this club by Heartland Quilting and Stitching, maybe? It was I saw Helen D mentioned it. Sorry I don't have the cover photo, but this is almost done. This is called Wordy Birds, January. It's by shoot, what's her name? Sweet Wing Studio. So I have February to start and hopefully finish in February. And then March is on its way, but I get the pattern and the DMC floss, which I probably didn't need. I have plenty of DMC, but I am more apt to actually start it and finish it when I have the DMC already kitted. But so this is on a piece of Be Stitch Me. It's a 16 count Aida. It's sparkly. You can't really tell on the camera. But yeah, I hoped to finish this in January. That didn't happen. So maybe today I can finish it. I think I have like roughly 1,000 stitches. I can actually tell you, I have it in markup. So yeah, I get the hard copy pattern, but I left this on the couch and my wonderful dog, Henry, oh, I only have 900 stitches to do. So yes, that's a lot, but I could finish it today. And that's probably what I'll try to focus on. A lovely dog, Henry, got a hold of the paper pattern and chewed it up, and they were nice enough to send me the digital version. Heartland Quilting was, so thank God for that. Stupid dog. Okay, so this is getting into my weekend of starts. These two, so for my Whipco board this year, I picked 24 artists, and each number is a different cross-stitch designer, and I will start a project from that designer each month. Start, or so far it's start. Probably will be start because I have a lot of them as like kits, and a lot of them are big projects. So yeah, this one is so this was Liz Matthews was called this for January. And this is the pattern I chose, Winter Garden. I'm stitching it on a, ooh, what is this fabric? I think it's a 40 count. I wrote it down. Not in there though. It's a 40 count linen. So I'm stitching at 1 strand of floss over 2 threads. I just got the border. And then the floss are mostly silks from my stash. There's a few overdyed cottons. But yeah, that's the floss palette. So should be pretty. We'll see. I'm kind of getting out of winter stitching, but now that it's started, I can pull it out next winter, maybe like December time frame, and I don't think it will take that long. I mean, it's a decent size, but it's lots of little motifs, and I don't know. It seems like it should stitch up pretty quick. So giant mess in here. The next one, the next designer called was the Drawn Thread. And I have several of these garden kits from her. So this is the Winter Garden. And I say kits because you can get the kit on her website, and it comes with the linen, and it comes with the, she usually designs with silks, and so it comes with like the silks that you need on these cards, which is quite handy. And so I just got a small start because I kind of wanted to say that I started it, and now I can just pull it out. So that's the door of the house and a window, 2 windows. This is a 32 count, but it calls to stitch just 1 strand of floss, and it actually looks okay. Like the coverage is not bad. It's a little, you know, it's a little bit prim, I guess I want to say. So the Drawn Thread has a lot of like specialty stitches. So a lot of these, like the branches or the leaves on the trees are specialty stitches. So that'll be fun to kind of learn that when I pull it out again. So that was Friday the 24th. I'm off work on Fridays, and so it was easy enough to kind of start a couple things. And then Saturday the 25th, because it's the 25th, I want to work on a Christmas piece on the 25th, and it's probably going to exclusively be this piece. I'm going to pull up a picture of the finish. The finished piece, what it will look like. It's called Green Christmas by, it's actually called Red Christmas, but she did a green version also by Jardin Privé. This has been a whip for a long time. Possibly my oldest whip, actually. And you'll see why. So I chose 3 like Victorian mono floss. So those are the floss colors. And then here's the whip or the project. So I'm kind of right now working on the border, and so on the 25th of the month, I have to at least put a strand in. Want to, you know. This is an 18 count Ada that I dyed. I don't remember the color, but it's a gray, kind of bluey gray. But yeah, so that's that. So 25th every month. Maybe the 12th as well. I don't know why the 12th isn't exactly a Christmas day, or a Christmassy day, but I don't know, 12, 25. So might do the 12th as well if I remember. I wanted to do a Halloween piece on the 13th. And I guess the 31st, and I totally forgot it was the 31st. And I forgot it was the 13th. So that's, you know, that's how that's gone. Okay, so that was Green Christmas. Did that on the 25th. And then I also started these 2 just to say I got a start on them. And now I can pull them out. This is Cottage Garden threads. Samplings. A Time for All Seasons series. This one's called It's Snow Time. I did a kit from it's not a kit, but a once a month we got the pattern and the thread, and then the fancy floss that it calls for, which this one is just Gentle Arts chalk. So I was able, so this is a deep breath. This is a 40 count vintage country mocha, and that I just worked on the scarf there a little bit. This is a lot of stitching, but it felt like it should stitch up pretty quick. Like that was maybe an hour's worth of work. And I had to frog because I started with the wrong color initially. So, but yeah, here's the floss and a few that I haven't put on drops yet. So yeah, now that it's started, I'm hoping like next year I can say, oh, I'm going to focus on these. These will be because I kind of like to do a monthly thing, or a lot of monthly things maybe. So yeah, that's for now, I think I want to start each of these from this series every month. And this was the other one. This was another year of Cottage Garden, a year in the woods. This was number 1, the fox. Oh, beautiful. I didn't get very far, huh? I just did the white. So this is a piece of 28 or 32 Lugan, or like even weave, came from Hobby Lobby. So I just did like the side, those snowflakes there, and started the tail. And I might actually don't know if this is going to be a big enough piece. It's doubled over. I unkitted. This was a different whip. So I just decided I liked this fabric. Oh, it's called Spa. It's Spa Lugana. It's from Hobby Lobby. Yeah. And then it only calls for 2 fancy floss, and then the rest is DMC. So as you will see, I am drawn towards Cottage Garden samplings patterns because I have 3 of her series. I didn't do the snowman series, that was last year, and I didn't love the house series. It was cute, I liked it, but I just don't want to stitch it. So those are the last 2 years, so I didn't do them for a while, but it sounds like she's coming out with one in maybe June or July that's more woodsy. So that'll be fun. Okay, that was all my starts. That was a lot, huh? The rest are whips. So there's only a couple more whips. One of them is one that I would like to finish this year. This was a excuse me, what am I saying? This was a Valentine's Day start last year. It's called Isabella's Heart by Modern Folk Embroidery. So here's the cover photo. It's just 3 colors. I chose 3 Victorian Motto floss that I had. And here's my progress. This linen is a 32 count slate Lugana. So this is a lot more stitching left. I thought I would try to finish it this year, but we'll see. It says I have, that's 12%. There's 7,000 stitches. So that would take a solid, probably, I mean, a week if I could get 1,000 stitches a day, which I can't. So probably like 2 weeks. More realistically, I could probably get 500 stitches a day. So we'll see if that's a finish. If not by Valentine's Day, maybe in February. But yeah, we'll see. And then what else? These 2. So one of them is called Scarlet Ribands by Long Dog Samplers. Here's the cover photo. Oh, it's so gorgeous. I started this last year for Long Dog Leap Day. Long Dog Leap Day South. I'd had this kitted up for a hot minute. And so I started it last year and I did not get very far. I got that, it's the bottom corner. And so I pulled it out on the 29th to, you know, make more progress. This is a 40 count Mallow, I think is the name. And the floss I'm using is Classic Colorworks Cranberry Belsois. So I love it. The Belsois is probably my ultimate favorite floss. It's just a dream to stitch with, but it's expensive. So that one will come out hopefully once a month if there's no 29th like this month, the last day of the month. And then this one, oh, do I have a cover photo? I think I do. Is another one that I'm gonna pull out once a month and do a motif This was in last year's Just Cross Stitch magazine stitch along. It's called Hummingbird Garden. I sometimes want to call it Hummingbird Sampler, but it's not. And so I started in the middle, top middle last year, so I could kind of get it on my fabric, which, holy cow, wrinkly. And then so the other day, the 29th, I finished that one. Yeah, this is a 28 count Joblin. I got the kit from Annie's Kits, and it's the floss is Anchor. And holy cow, these colors are so stunning. Like, I could just stare at these colors. Oh, so beautiful. So I really like this color palette. So I mean, it should be really, really pretty stitched up. And so that, my goal is once a month to do a motif. And so it'll be done by the end of the year. Right? Okay, that's all of my whips. Yeah. Okay, so now I will get into plans for February. It's a lot, so I hope you have a beverage. There are, so I want to finish the Wordy Birds. Like I said, I wanted to finish Isabella's Heart and Queen Rose. There's also one that I started. Oh, I didn't write this one down. I started it. Where's it at? Uh-oh. Well, maybe I won't show you. Well, it's a little concerning that I don't know where it's at. I wonder. Huh. Okay. Well, it's called Winter by Rosewood Manor. I started it. Oh, it's in here. Oh, okay. Sorry, I should have showed you this in the whips section. Winter by Rosewood Manor. This came as a partial kit with the floss. So, oh jeez. And then I'm stitching it on a piece of Lugana by Be Stitch Me. This was my little bit of start. Okay, hold please. Okay, sorry about that. My 8-year-old came down and he wakes up with a sore throat for the last 2 days, and so I had to give him some medicine. Oh, kids are always getting sick. Anyways, plans for February, our goals. What I told you, I wanted to finish the Wordy Birds, which hopefully I can do today. That winter piece, maybe. Isabella's Heart, Queen Rose. I mean, those are all kind of big pieces. And then on top of that, I have the 3, holy moly, okay. This one by, oh my gosh, Stitching with the Housewives, Bloom and Roots. I'd like to start and finish this in the month, like I said. This was last year's, series that I got all of the floss for, and I would like to start and finish that. This is the February version of the Wordy Birds. So cute. Oh, so cute. So we got the DMC floss. I'd like to start and finish that. This one is another of the Cottage Garden series. I don't know what year this was, but I have all of them. And this one's number 1, but I have all the floss. This is floss from Stash, actually. So I'd like to start that. And then the next 2 in the other 2 Cottage Garden series are these 2. So I need to pull everything for this. I have the fancy floss for that. I just need to pull the DMC, and I have the, so we'll see. I might have another weekend where I just start everything. And then the designers for this month for Whip Go that were called was the Blue Flower and Plum Street. And so I've had this Blue Flower piece kitted up for a hot minute. Probably since 2020, actually. So it came out Huckleberry Farm. I got a piece of 36 count that Be Stitch Me dyed called Huckleberry, specifically for that piece. And then I have all the floss, so I need to start it. That's the goal. I'd like to finish it and have it on my wall, but you know, can't be finished until it's started, right? So that is the one I plan to start this month. I don't know where I will start it from. I might see where the middle is. It seems like the middle is maybe that butterfly. That might be a good place to start. I'm usually like a top right starter. That house top middle might be a good place to start. I don't know. We'll see what I feel like when I sit down to start it. Probably need to like set aside a day, like Saturday the 15th or something. So that one, and then the other one is Plum Street, which this is the one I plan to start, Sweetheart Hill. I pulled all the floss, and this is a stash fabric. I think this will be my Valentine's Day start this year, so that's that one. And then I had a couple other like pieces I wanted to show you that I would like to start. So is anybody counting how many that is? Last month, Hello from Liz Matthews and her Patreon released this, which I think is gorgeous. And it's not specifically like Valentine's Day, right? You can continue stitching it. So I plan to start that. I'm going to stitch it on this purple with this tealy color. Ooh, it would be so pretty. The purple fabric is Fiberlicious. It's called Daydream. It's a 32 count linen. So that I would like to start this month, but it might not. Might be next month. What else is in here? I have this little, this should be quick. This is a goal to kind of start and finish. I can take this to work and stitch on it pretty easy. It's little, and I have like a silk, Fiberlicious silk to go with it. This is another one that might be a Valentine's Day start. It is called, sorry, let me pull up the pattern. It's called Lace Heart by Alessandra Adelaide. Oh, that's so pretty. So pretty. And I'd stitch it on this pink Unnamed Be Stitch Me. It's a 32 count. And then this with that icing Belsois. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So those are on my short list. Yeah, and what else? Oh, there is a Just Cross Stitch magazine the last one, not the one that's out currently. I liked this Love Letters sampler, band sampler. That looks like it would stitch up pretty quick, and I think the Magazine Monthly cross stitch group usually does like a weekend event. Maybe I might be making that up, but I would like to start that maybe also on Valentine's Day. I don't know. I gotta pull the floss and fabric for it. So there's that one, and then again was watching Helen D, and she talked about doing this stitch along from this year's Just Cross Stitch magazine. It's called Nature's Journey. Sorry, the others are grayed out, but I think that's so pretty. And that looks like a lot of fun. So that is kind of like another year-long quarterly thing, right? So yeah, that is my cross stitch plans. I also wrote down that I want to do February wreath swap, but I forgot to pull that pattern, so who knows if that'll happen. And then I better put these back in here. And then quilting goals. So yes, if you're not here for the cross stitch, or if you're not here for anything but the cross stitch, thank you for tuning in. Sorry that was kind of, oh, I have haul. I'll go through that at the end. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my quilting goals for the month. And then if you want to fast forward because you're not interested, go ahead. If you want to see haul, I have a good old basket here of haul. Oh, this video is getting long. Anyways, so quilting goals. I am in a couple block of the months. One of them is, sorry, I'm going to reach over here because I forgot to pull these. One of them, this one's almost done. It's called State Fair. And so I have like 2 or 3 more months. I just got this month's in the mail. It's like 4 blocks. So I'm going to stitch on those, or stitch those up. Excuse me. Fat Quarter Shop is doing a like foundation paper piece block of the month. That's what the quilt will look like. We have done, what have we done? This section. So it's like built in quadrants. So we have these 3. Next month, or this month, February's is on the way. So I'll do that. I am in Alice Caroline, is like an overseas designer, I guess. And they release Liberty of London fabrics. And there's a quilt along called Flower Garden. And so it's gonna look like this. It's all foundation paper pieced. These are January's pieces, but because it comes from London, it takes a little while to get to me. So I'm still working on, this is my progress for the first one. And then I still have the other block to do. All the pieces are basted. But yeah, so that's one quilting goal. Fat Quarter Shop is doing a stitch or a quilt along for this Lori Holt snowman piece. And so for January, you were supposed to do all like these little snowflake blocks. And so I did. I got them all done. Woohoo! They're tiny. They're like 3.5 inches square. That was a lot of piecing. And then also was these bigger like snowflake blocks. And then so for February, it's much less stitching, so it should, or much less quilting, so it very well should be, it's doable, is a couple of the other snowflake blocks. So I'm going to sew on that. And then Lori Holt, I think this month through March, which we'll see if I can keep up, is this quilt. And so I'm supposed to this week do all the baskets and applique block 1, which is this one. And so I got to get cutting. And I haven't actually ever done one of her applique pieces before. I think they're very pretty, and I think her method is doable. I just have to decide if I want to machine stitch down the applique. I don't really want to hand stitch it because I don't really have the time to do that. But so that is quilting goals. Usually I do a lot more sewing on the weekends and I do stitching during the week because it's just easier to, like, I can sit on the couch at the end of the day and stitch. So that's usually how it kind of pans out. But thank you for tuning in for all that. Now I will show a little bit of haul because I got some haul. And it's actually a lot of fall. So yeah, it's a lot of fall. That's all I have to say. One of them is this beautiful fat quarter bundle from, who is the name? It's called Sea Glass Summer. Oh, it's by Sweetfire Road. Oh, I love that color palette. I don't know yet what quilt to do. Although there's one called, it's called Same Sky by Modernly Morgan, which I think I have the pattern, but let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Same Sky quilt pattern. I think would actually be quite pretty. So quite pretty in that fabric. So maybe I will do that. I'll have to pick a pick the background. But yeah, let me look into that. And then I got a couple of, actually I got a lot of fabrics, so we'll save the fabrics. I'm in the Fab Quarter Shop Belsois Club. So you get 3 Belsois from Classic Colorworks. Sorry, I'm losing my words. This is really jumbled. Hopefully you're still paying attention or still here. And then I pre-ordered this from Top Knot Stitcher. So this came in along with this little guy to go along with the Valentine's Tiny Town, which I have. I just haven't hit it up. I thought maybe I'll start it this month, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And then I'm in this club from Fat Quarter Shop. It's quarterly, where you get these houses from Lori Holt, which these are pretty. I really like stitching on the linen. I like all the quotes. This is a good old chunk of stitching. So right now I have one going, and I don't want to start another one until I have that one finished. So there's that one. And then Stitch Me had a bunch of fabrics on ready to ship, like 2 weekends in a row. And so I placed 2 separate orders. But this first one is Cardinal Lugana. It's a 28 count. This is, just a classic vanilla latte, 28 count. Can't go wrong with vanilla latte. Apparently, because I got a 20 count as well. Merlot. This is a 32 count linen. Oh, so pretty. Blush in 28 count Lugana. And Lilith. That purple is so pretty. I don't know what I will stitch with it, but so that's that. And then I just, she posted a silk on Instagram. I think it was this one, or might have been this purple one. I can take these out of the bag. Sorry, just being lazy. And so I just kind of went through her silks and was like, what's pretty? And obviously I have like a type, because all of these are very like jewel tones, and I just kind of randomly pulled them, but they ended up being, I knew I needed some like good greens. So yeah, that's I clearly like jewel tone stuff. Fabric, linen, all the above. And then I got the Housewives blue ribbons because I didn't have any of those for finishing, and then I got the red ribbons because I already have the black. And then this is one that I wanted to go over with you because Helen D enabled me. This is a Historical Sampler Company. I think their subscription box is called Cotton and Twine. So it comes from overseas, comes from, I'm trying to see here, Essex? The UK, comes from United Kingdom. And they show you a picture, like a teaser, before they send it to you. And so you can decide if you want to get that month. And so this was January's, which I saw initially on Helen D's, and then, you know, went and ordered it. But it's so pretty. Like, look at this box. It's just very fun print. Then it comes all nicely in here with this, like, really pretty paper. And then this is the pattern. So cotton and twine, January 2025 design. This is a, what's her name? Emma Congdon, Stitchrovia pattern. I got so they put it on this floss card. It's all DMC floss, but like those are super pretty colors. And then I got the linen option, probably 28 count, so it's just a white. That's super pretty. And then you can they give you like the finishing stuff. So like here's a hoop to finish it with. And then you got some goodies. Like one is a tea bag. This is a black tea. I don't know. It's cute. And then these interesting little sweets. I haven't tried it yet. I was trying to save it to show you guys. And then this is like a lip balm, which all this stuff is so fancy. It's cute. Sparkling Fizz lip balm. Yeah, super, super cute. It and I feel like it was relatively fairly priced. Obviously the shipping is kind of painful, but I like that you get to see it beforehand, and that you can skip that month if you don't want to, if you don't like the design. So yeah, that's been a lot. It's been 52 minutes. Sorry for kind of the rambly nature. I'm hoping to get better. I'm just excited is all. That's why it's like this. So yeah, I would love to interact with you guys in the comments. If you see something that you're stitching, let me know. If you want to start a stitch along, or, you know, stitch stuff together. Yeah, well, let's do it. Gonna clean this mess up. I gotta start some laundry. I think I'm gonna go sit down and finish that Wordy Bird series, actually. 900 stitches will probably take a couple hours, so we'll see. I got some quilting to do. I put this quilt up because I want to long arm it, and I'm hoping that if it's sitting out there like that, it'll be like, quilt me, quilt me. But that's just been like very low on my list lately, and I don't really know why. Yeah, well, anyways, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you got a good bit of stitching done, and I look forward to filming again. Right now it's just going to be planned for March-ish timeframe, maybe end of February, maybe sooner if, like I said, if, you know, there's just something big I want to share. So hopefully, I'm trying to post more on Instagram, which I failed at miserably so far, but yeah. So you can also interact with me over there. There was something I wanted to give away. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, dang it. Yes, it's right here. Hold, please. So, lucky you if you've been here this whole time. There's two things I wanted to give away. So, I'm in the Whip Warriors group, and it's not for me. At least, I'm going to stay in the group and do like one thing a month. But I got this. They like released a calendar type, or a planner calendar type thing. And I ordered it, and I'm not going to do it. So if you are in that group and are interested in this, I will send it to you. Just shoot me a message over on Instagram. And then same thing for this one. Like, I don't need another calendar. I'm happy with the Lori Holt one. But this is Stitcher's Almanac. It's again a 2025. I like the paper quality is nice. And it's got like, you know, a monthly calendar. There's extra pages to track your stuff. I had it spiral bound, so, you know, it's early in the year. Again, if you want this message, send me a message over on Instagram. It's Mandy Mead Stitches. And yeah, I'll send it to you. Preferably in the US, but if you're in Canada, I'll send it there. It's expensive. So yeah, thank you again. If you stayed this whole time, maybe you'll get the you'll get the calendars. And yeah. Anyways, I hope you all have a great week, month of stitching, and catch you next time.